Hi, everyone. My name is Samara McGhee, and I am one of the coaches here at Your Sinclair Method Coaching. I also want to tell you that I made Coach of the Year 2023. So, woohoo! I really feel like because of my history, and I had a past of 25-year drinking career, essentially, I feel like this type of coaching that I'm now engaged in is very meaningful to me, very fulfilling, purpose-driven type of coaching that I do here every day. And it guides my life to a more fulfilled life. But basically what I'm doing here is teaching what I learned in my Sinclair method journey, and I'm just sharing that with others, right? So it's from experience. And then I also was able to gain more coaching skills along the way because after starting coaching from my own experience, I learned that I really loved coaching and I desired to be a better coach. So then I gained more knowledge about how to become a better coach. So that's where those skills came in. But yeah, I love coaching, and I think, my clients will say that they can tell. They can tell that that's the case, right? The most common issue that I feel that people have on the Sinclair method is, um, I would say two areas, mindset and okay, this is a difficult question. This is really good. Thank you, Jenny, for asking. Uh, yeah, so I would say mindset and sticking to it. I believe there can be a belief system where a person will feel like giving up or like the, you know, like not continuing on. And so, which is also goes back to mindset. So really, I think it's mindset is the number one issue that I come across. I would say one other aspect of this question would be negative self-talk. Something that I had to overcome in my Sinclair method journey, and then I gained extra skills um, to learn how to have self-compassion and how to apply that to my Sinclair method, right? Um, and that's one of the things that I teach my clients is it's all about mindful self-compassion. And it was a habit change. It was certainly something that had to change within my thinking. And so I teach my clients this. And I would say it would be like the number two, cause for problems with the Sinclair method, not following through or wanting to give up, is this negative, the harsh way that we talk to ourselves and how we deal with ourselves. And I show my clients how to be more compassionate towards themselves. So I think there's several benefits to having a TSM coach. I believe that accountability is one thing that can really help someone, at least in the early stages while they're getting started on TSM. Really that accountability of once a week or once every 2 weeks, checking in with a coach. It's kind of like seeing, you want to compare it to seeing like a counselor, or someone who has walked the road ahead before you, and knows what to look for. Um, so that's another aspect of that. Yeah, accountability, being able to check in. And then in the beginning of the Sinclair method, I know from speaking with a lot of clients, they have a lot of questions early on. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. So that can all be done in those early stages. You can start gathering your questions over the course of a few weeks and then, ask them in a coaching session and get all of that stuff, you know, down. And then I think as you continue on the months through the Sinclair method, you can slow down even on sessions. Like you don't necessarily have to go once a week, or once every 2 weeks. I have clients that see me once a month now. So, they're 7 months in and they're still going, but they've got more, they've got it down. They know the routine, they know what they're doing, and then they see me less. But it's still good to have that accountability and that check-in. So, okay. Yes, awesome. I have a success story client. I'm not going to name him, but I have been given permission to talk about his story. And he is someone who I started out with from the beginning. I mean, we had our very first call when he was starting on TSM. And then I believe it was around 9 months later that he reached extinction. And I was there for the whole thing. And I want to talk about two of the major aspects that led to his success. Number one being he grounded himself in the science of the Sinclair method. And that kept him present and not doubting his his end success, right? He remained present in the moment and he wouldn't doubt. Number two was mindfulness. He used a lot of mindfulness to really explore his drinking behavior throughout the Sinclair method, which really helps identify the reasons why we drink and helps us to change our habits and all of the things that we work on along the way. And I really watched him embody these two aspects of success, I believe, in achieving the results that he got around the 9 month mark on the Sinclair method. Yeah, the small successes, we call them small wins sometimes. Sometimes within the Sinclair method, we don't necessarily recognize them. And so what my job is I am there to support and encourage and show you as a client your small successes, and I help you identify them. And that is one of the big reasons that success happens in the end. Like the small wins, I remember, at least in my experience, um, going from one small win to the next, it kept me going and it kept me motivated towards progress. Sometimes I notice with clients that they can get in a rut or stay stuck, or they will be in a plateau. And that can be also due to not recognizing those small wins that they're having every week, every week, every week. And that's where coaching comes in, where I can help you identify that. So if you are considering working with me, I want to tell you that I I am a coach who listens intently on our sessions, and I really am driven by solutions. So I listen to find solutions for whatever challenge that you're going through on the Sinclair method, whether it be a plateau or you feel stuck or you feel like you're not progressing as quickly as you want to. Um, I can I can understand what's happening on a deeper level, and I can help with that. And the other thing is that I work with mindfulness. I work on the mindset. I work with habits, ways of coping. Um, what else? I help ground you in the science so that you can feel confident in what you're doing. I help you identify wins, achievements, And overall, I encourage you to keep going because this works.